My name's Leah, and my project is called A Taste of Tradition, Mexican Culture Through Food. I decided to focus on Mexican culture because food plays a really big role in tradition, identity, and just everyday life. Food isn't just about eating, it actually represents history, culture, and identity. In Mexican culture, food is a way people connect with each other. It brings family together and keeps traditions going across generations. Mexican food is also influenced by indigenous cultures like the Aztecs and Mayans, and also Spanish colonization, which introduced new ingredients and cooking styles. In this project, I mainly focus on staple foods, traditional dishes, and how food connects to cultural identity. The main concepts I focused on are staple foods and ingredients, traditional dishes and cooking methods, and cultural identity and history. First is corn, which is the most important foods in Mexican culture. It's been used since ancient civilizations like the Aztecs and Mayans, and is still used today in foods like tortillas and tamales. There's also a process called nixtamalization, which is how corn is turned into dough, and that's still used today too. Corn is more than just food, it's actually a big part of Mexican identity and tradition. Beans and rice are super common in Mexican meals. They're affordable, filling, and eaten pretty much daily in a lot of households. This shows how the food is not only traditional but also practical. It also reflects how diets are shaped by culture and what's available. Mexican food uses a lot of fresh ingredients like chili peppers, tomatoes, onions, cilantro, and lime. These give the food really good, bold flavors. Also, because of the climate in Mexico, fresh produce is really accessible, which is why it is such a big part of the cuisine. So this connects to how geography influences food. Making tortillas by hand is a traditional cooking method that has been passed down for generations. A lot of families still do this instead of buying them. It represents tradition and culture being passed down within families. So it's not just about cooking, it's about keeping traditions alive. Tacos are one of the most important popular Mexican foods. They're really simple but can be made in so many different ways with different meals and toppings. Tacos also show globalization because they're eating all over the world now, but they still represent Mexican culture. Tamales are usually made during holidays or special occasions. They're wrapped in corn husk and steamed. Making tamales is usually a group activity, so it brings families together. This shows how food is connected to tradition and celebration. Street food is a huge part of Mexican culture. You'll see vendors selling tacos, elote, and other foods. It shows how food is a part of everyday life and is really accessible to people. It also reflects the social and economic side of culture. Traditional cooking methods like using a comal or cooking over an open flame are still used today. These methods give the food a unique flavor and connect modern cooking to historical traditions. It shows how culture is preserved over time. In Mexican culture, food is really about connection. Families come together to eat, especially on weekends or holidays. So meals aren't just about food, they're about spending time together and building relationships. Mexican food has been shaped by both indigenous traditions and Spanish colonization. Indigenous cultures brought food like corns, beans, and chili peppers, while Spanish influence added things like rice, dairy, and meats. Today, Mexican food is popular all over the world and continues to evolve, but it still keeps its original cultural roots. Overall, Mexican food is deeply connected to culture, history, and identity. From staple foods like corn and beans to traditional dishes like tacos and tamales, food plays a big role in everyday life. This project shows that food isn't just about nutrition, it's also about tradition, community, and culture. And these are my references. Thank you.